Yo, what's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint.
Milton the Manimal.
We're here with our Valiant Deluxe Edition read-through, Act 3, Part 1. We're at the final stretch here.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed this act. What we had was the last volume of Exo Manowar, Volume 5, Bloodshot Reborn, Volume 1.
And then we had Book of Death, which is like a little short one, and then about 8 issues, I think. And we had Rye, Volume 1, and Ninjak, Volume 1.
So, I liked all of them, actually.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I did too. I think the one I liked the least, I think, was Bloodshot Reborn.
So, what do you want to talk? You want to talk on that first?
Sure.
So, I really liked Bloodshot Reborn. I think I liked it better than the original Bloodshot run.
Okay, so it was good. Like, when I say I liked it the least, it's just out of these books. But, and we kind of talked about this on the side. It's the same shit with him. It's always him versus his memory. And
all right, so hold on. So at the end of it the Valiant,
yeah,
when the Geomancer took the nanites out of him, he was a regular guy.
Yeah.
So this has him like trying to find odd jobs, working at a motel.
Yeah.
He's off the grid, but he's kind of like getting these visions of who's the girl? Kay.
Kay, yeah.
Was the girl that
Kay McHenry.
Was that his girlfriend? Or
That's
something?
the Geomancer.
That's the Geomancer.
Yeah.
And then this cartoonish miniature Bloodshot called Blood Squirt, which if you explain this scenario to me, I would say I hate that.
Well, it's like, you know what it reminded me of? It's like Batmite.
Right, but it really worked. I mean, he was zany and goofy or whatever, but it's just like you don't know if he's going insane or what's going on with it. And then he ends up finding out that his nanobites got dispersed over 7 different people.
Yeah, I believe it was 7.
So everyone's got a little bit of Bloodshot in them, and basically he has to hunt them down and kill each one and absorb those nanites to become Bloodshot again.
Right, because for whatever reason, he's the only one who can actually have the nanites and not go crazy. They're negatively affecting everyone else.
It's kind of like Wolverine is the only one that could handle the adamantium.
Yeah.
See, very similarities.
So, but I just didn't like that. So he was normal for a little while. They could have done more. There just is not a lot of character development with Bloodshot. There's no villains. It's always PRS. It's always his nanites. It's always the same stuff.
In his defense, he never asked Kay to remove the nanites from him.
True.
So that was kind of his thing. And he's kind of like, can't deal with his nightmares of all the things he's done as Bloodshot.
He's drinking all the time.
Yeah, he's like taking Xannies all day. So this collects Bloodshot Reborn 1 through 3. Got a $40 cover price. And there is a second volume that we'll talk about on the next video.
Oh, that's one of them? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You want to jump into Exo Manowar Volume 5?
Let's come over here and
jump over there. All right, let's go.
So then we had Book of Death, which is kind of like another crossover series, if you will.
Like a 4-part miniseries.
Yeah, so it was Book of Death 1 through 4, and then it had a bunch of one-shots, which are like the end issues for like Fall of Bloodshot, Fall of Ninjak, Fall of Harbinger, and Fall of Exo Manowar.
So I skipped Fall of Bloodshot because that's collected at the end of Volume 2. Same with Ninjak. No. Same with... What's on there?
Ninjak, Manowar, Harbinger, and Bloodshot.
So yeah, in Manowar, I read it. It's collected in here. So I skipped like Ninjak, Bloodshot, and is the other one Ultimate Warrior?
No.
Right.
Ultimate Warrior is the main character in this.
Isn't there the 4 end ones?
Harbinger.
Oh yeah, I read Harbinger. Okay.
So this is basically kind of like another little crossover. Deals with the Geomancer. It's very Eternal Warrior heavy. And those little Fall ofs, they're just kind of like what if stories
in the future, like how their stories end, really.
Yeah, if they were, but then spoiler alert, they stop that shit from happening, and so they never those deaths don't really.
I never
occur.
put that together. That changes the timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Book of Death deals with 2 Geomancers, right? One of them, Galad, is obviously, that's his purpose on Earth, is to defend them. Then Dark from Shadow Man.
Master Dark, yeah.
Master Dark has a little boy under his control who is basically a Geomancer, but like evil, like he's causing plagues and shit, right?
Well, so at the end of Valiant, remember, Geomancer from the future came. That's why they had 2 of them. So they had brought a Geomancer from the future.
Kay's from the future?
No, after Kay died.
Okay.
They brought one, and so then there was the current who grew up, and yeah, Master Dark's trying to control his own Geomancer and actually kind of take the power of the Geomancer.
So,
Can take you anywhere.
So if you're just joining in on these, a Geomancer is somebody who has like these earthbound powers and
the protector of Earth.
Right. So yeah, they have like they can make things grow and shit like that, right?
They're kind of like it seems like the most powerful person in the Valiant universe.
So the evil one, the little boy, made like a tree grow and like threw all these people and the roots coming through their eyes and their mouth and shit. And Master Dark. So we kind of touched on, and I don't want to get too much into it because I want to save it for our wrap up. About not having a rogues gallery. Yeah. So Master Dark is one of those villains from the Shadow Man universe. He torments.
He's one of the big villains of the Valiant universe.
Of the afterlife kind of thing.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed. This was actually one of my favorites that we've read so far. The Book of Death. I really liked it. I always kind of like those end stories, like even like Wolverine the end, X-Men the end. Like I always really enjoyed that kind of stuff.
I just felt like the Valiant, they could have stretched it out longer.
Yeah.
And don't you feel?
But it was better than the Valiant.
Yeah, well, Valiant was dope too, man. The villain on Valiant was dope. The Geomancer killer.
Yeah, it was okay. It was good.
So really, this is kind of just same kind of mini series.
Really, yeah, exactly.
Cool, I liked it. So Exo Manowar, Volume 5. This wraps it up for issues 43 through 50.
Oh, did I say cover price on this one was $39.99?
Yeah, they're all $39.99.
Oh,
so what are we doing?
Even the small ones?
I don't know.
Rip off.
So I'm trying to remember what this was.
So this is him and Trill.
This is Trill.
Commander Trill comes and it's basically like they're kind of fighting the Torment. What else happened in that one? It really has a lot to do with Manowar dealing with Trill and the Vine. Remember the Vine comes back and they attack the Earth or Earth's fighting them.
Yeah, and the colony of divine people.
Yeah.
And it's the whole end game to that. Oh, and then these people come through. The Torment come through. So we have these new villains, which are like even worse than Armor Hunters.
Right.
They're like these galaxy people. Like they look like a galaxy inside of their bodies.
But they're not. They're once again. They're kind of like a Galactus. They're not like evil. They're just that's what they are. They're an entity or a force, kind of.
Yeah. So what else do we want to say about Exo? I loved it. Exo.
It was good. Yeah. It's Exo.
Yeah. So it wraps it up. I don't know what else to say about this.
No, this, like I said, it's really heavy on Exo versus Trill. That's really probably.
And then they end up. Well, I don't want to give the spoiler alert, but yeah, it's the final battle between the Vine, the humans, the Manowars, and the big bad villains, force of nature in the cosmos, the Torment. Cool.
So next we had Ninjak Volume 1, which I loved this one too.
Yeah, I really like how it's not really Ninjak, right? It's Ninja K.
Yeah, that's
they have Ninja cool. J, Ninja L. But he does go by Ninjak, but it's cool how they show the origin of that name.
So who's the first one? Ninjab. But yeah, it was dope, man.
So a lot of preludes to the Ninjak story and how he became a ninja and him as a child, and
you know what it was kind of reminding me of?
Like Batman.
He's like Batman with a jacked up Alfred.
Yeah, like
his Alfred's
an abusive Alfred.
He beats him and stuff, and it's like his father actually.
Yeah, and, spoilers on that. But yeah, but it was cool, man, and it was more of that than him as an adult, right? It shows his first couple missions.
Well, so the big story in this is he's hunting down these, I think it's 7 people who control like some arms dealership in the world, and he has to bring them in alive and catch them, and they all kind of have powers, and you find out that they all kind of trained with the same person he trained
with. The Bleeding Monk.
Was it the Bleeding Monk? Was it though? That's what I
was
Oh no,
the Undead Monk.
Yeah, it was so weird because the whole time I was like, is this the Bleeding Monk?
It wasn't. Well, I don't know if he becomes a Bleeding Monk, but he was like in a permanent state of meditation, but he could communicate with them.
I don't think it was the Bleeding Monk.
No, but it was some other kind of monk, and he could only find that monk's place if you're like
damaged.
Yeah, exactly. So if you were like if I was to walk through there,
what's up with the Valiant universe just having these monks around that have all these powers and stuff?
It's pretty cool though.
They should make a monk book.
Book of Monk.
Book of Monk.
Isn't there a TV show called Monk?
Yeah. But it was good, man. I like Ninjak. Ninjak's always
awesome. Hold up. One of my favorite characters in the Valiant universe shows up in this. What's her name? Would it be?
Punk Mambo?
No. I like her too, though. Hold on. What is her name? Yo, she's got the razor sharp hair, the red hair.
Oh, she's like a bad guy at first at the end. I can't remember
her right here.
Yeah.
She shows up in the beginning looking like Melina from the Flesh Pits on Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah, she was dope, but then she just kind of disappeared, man.
She came back, though.
Hopefully she'll show up in Ninjak Volume 2 a little bit.
But she's a dope-ass killer.
Yeah.
What is her name, yo? I want to say something with a B. Did you read all these? Like,
yeah, it was cool. Yeah. You have to show those.
Roku.
Roku, but then she did have a name though. I can't remember.
I liked Roku a lot.
But I enjoyed
Ninjak.
I enjoyed Ninjak. It was cool. He's kind of smarmy, you know.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
Now, I didn't like him going to the Dead Zone and that whole Shadow Man type story, right?
Oh, see, I kind of did like that one too.
You told me that. I was like, what?
I liked it.
I just don't like that kind of shit, man. It's kind of whack.
The like hell type stuff.
It's not even that it was hell, right? It was
supernatural type stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like the Shadow Man world. Last one was
Did we say what's collected?
Oh yeah,
like
so
1 through
it's
13?
1 through 13 of Ninjak. Yeah. $40 cover.
The Shadow 7. That's the name of the bad guys.
Yeah. Then we got Rai from 4001 AD, which was cool because we've been getting teased about this future in the Valiant universe a little bit here and there.
You see it in like Book of Death is when they first kind of talk about launching Japan up into space.
Yeah, but I didn't read that one.
Oh, you didn't read that one?
Because that was the issue that was like the Ninjak, Fallen Ninjak.
Fallen Ninjak, yeah.
But you get that. It's kind of like Ready Player One, like...
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know, like, basically, 4001 AD, the Earth is fucked. New Japan is like this space station kind of. Is it in the atmosphere or not?
Yeah, so they had launched, basically Japan created their own New Japan and then launched it into space, and it has a lot to do with Livewire. It's based off all of Livewire, and but it's in orbit and it releases exhaust and just jacks up Earth.
Scorches it.
Yeah. So
and then they tell tales of how Earth is like you can never go there. There's not breathable air.
Right.
It's almost like a Judge Dredd kind of story.
For sure.
The first one, right?
Sure.
Like the mega cities,
the Outlands,
and the Outlands, exactly. So it's kind of like that. Rai is kind of like a Bloodshot.
He's kind of like a Wolverine too,
right? So
he's like Rai X,
and he can exactly. There's been multiple Rais. You find out. And his powers, he can like tap into the infrastructure of New Japan. So he can teleport by going through like the electricity or whatever.
Yeah.
He pulls swords out from his body.
He's like Neo, kind of.
He is definitely like a Matrix kind of vibe, man.
I really enjoyed it. And I really love the art. This is like Clayton Crane, which is that X-Force Volume 2.
And it looks like Clayton Crane. It looks like that hyper 3D digitized art.
The one thing I didn't like about it was I was like, yo, why does the guy look almost exactly like Bloodshot? Like, is this the only idea we can have?
Purpose, though. I thought it was on purpose.
I wondered if it was. I thought, is it going to
come
up?
So they mentioned something about Bloodshot. He says one little thing in this book that alludes that he's got some relation to Bloodshot. But they don't touch on it more. Maybe it's in 4001 AD.
Do you remember?
Somebody says something to him like, are you related to Bloodshot? And he was like, that's a story for another day. Or it was something really small like that.
But you also get Galad shows back up, and you have more Geomancer stuff in this.
The Geomancer is in prison.
Yeah, and it's good, man.
It was good, and the world building was cool. I'm excited to read 4001 AD now.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
So let's put that on the board. So now that we've completed this, we're at the last part of our Valiant Deluxe Edition read-through, which is Bloodshot Reborn Volume 2,
Wrath of Eternal Warrior,
Ninjak
2,
and then Divinity, and then 4001 AD, and we're done, man.
So 5 more books.
Divinity is like 3 books in one.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
It's like the thickest one.
Yeah, it looks like about Armor Hunter's size, roughly, or a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah, it is about that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I definitely enjoyed this act. There was nothing really that I hated about it.
No, this was a good one.
It was a good one. And I think the next part's going to be good too.
I'm really honestly like this act was the one I've been looking forward to the most because I wanted to read Ninjak, and I'm really excited for Eternal Warrior.
Yeah,
a whole book on Galad will be dope.
I feel like we've had a whole book on him already, just throughout these other stories.
The little miniseries, yeah.
So I guess that's it, man. Drop us a like on the way out. Drop a comment if you've read any of these or you're looking forward to any of these. You got anything?
No, man.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Valiant Deluxe Edition read-throughs, other reviews of storylines, and other daily content. Omnibus hauls, statue reviews, Comic-Con coverage, live shows, and live auctions. So y'all stay minty. Peace.